Hello everybody, finishing off our coverage on a Wednesday and finishing off the month actually because it's the 30th of April today. All things crazy with Battlegrounds at the moment. Battlegrounds new season has gone live and there's been some trouble in paradise, as the old Kofi Kingston intro dictates. There used to be, for a moment in time, double the amount of solo events for Battlegrounds and for the solo and for the Alliance as well, which looked a little bit like this. You can see, wow. I don't know if anybody was able to work like quickly in that moment in time to grab double the rewards in that moment, but I don't know. I don't think that was actually possible. But it's certainly weird to kind of like see that happening. There was also some kind of like helpful progression-based things that emerged all of a sudden. Like people being able to start off higher up the chain, so to speak. So the bug in particular saw that, so you were in Vibranium 2 for a lot of people that were in Gladiator Circuit. Bigger accounts into Gladiator Circuit faster. You should start all Gladiator Circuit players in Vibranium 2 every season. Now, of course, there's going to be a bit of a kickback to that. It's always difficult to put in a structure what is going to be good for you, the player, and things that maybe Kabam learn what works, what doesn't. There's, of course, differences to that. Okay, well, if it was like everybody starts off in Victory Track from Gladiator Circuit from those that are in, like, say, Celestial Eru or whatever, you get to start back up there. Everybody that was in Gladiator Circuit gets to start there. Like, that's tough. Because you don't know the size of the accounts that got into to Gladiator Circuit. Some meteor accounts could have got in there. And as a result, it might be like, oh, some lower accounts might have got in there. And then it goes against how Kabam kind of see the value of things. Because it's like, well, if again, let's throw theoreticals out there. Cavalier player got into Gladiator Circuit. Then it's like, well, should a Cavalier player be getting those kind of rewards on a monthly basis and getting Radiance as well at the same time? That's another kind of like key thing. We'll have a look at the Radiance store as well in this video. But yeah, I think that's there are some things I think a lot of people agree with, but then a lot of times it's like, well, the structure of things. It's tough, isn't it? It's tough, right? So Kabam have said on the matter the following. Where's the note from Kabam? Which is here. Let's try and get it into a nice little framing of shot. Yes, as you can see, as you may have noticed, Battlegrounds launched this afternoon with 2 solo events instead of 1. This resulted in summoners who landed in Gladiator Circuit last season to start the victory track in Vibranium 2. Okay, which is a bit higher than the intended launching point. We fixed the duplicated solo events and decided to leave the starting point at Vibranium 2 for impacted summoners. All of the victory track rewards that you skipped will be earned when you play your 5 matches at the start of the season as usual. Please note this is not a permanent change and starting seeding will return to normal in Season 29. Additionally, the new Radiance objectives did not launch with the start of the season, so if you're in Battlegrounds Fiend and reached the circuit before they appeared, you can still claim the objective by playing 1 additional match. So there we go, we've got a bit of a highlight on that particular issue for those who might be like, well, where the heck is it? Because in-game at the moment under the Battlegrounds, well, it was under the Battlegrounds tab, was it moved? No, it's not, it's here in Special. I thought it would be better under Battlegrounds tag, but there you go. It is Radiance in Gladiator Circuit there, reaching 100 rating and reaching 200 rating, and trying to get that is it might be a bit difficult. Right, let's move on now to the Radiance store. Is it in? That's a question. There we go. The Radiance tab is there. It has gone live for people to go and buy stuff. We've done a breakdown to this in the past. But it's it's a tough one to gain, to earn Radiance. There's a lot of things with interesting value on stuff. Maybe it's worth revisiting in another video, but I kind of looked at it in the past, so kind of like returning to something that I've already done. It's just best to move on to another project and something else to kind of cover. But there are interesting things at hand, how you spend your Radiance. I'm sure some people will look at different values of things. Like if for whatever reason you're behind on a selector of the Deathless, which you can purchase up to 5 times, you may do that. I'm very much inclined with the mastery point saving up for this. over a length of time. If it takes me 6 months, it takes me 6 months to get this. I don't know how long it will take me. I think Radiance is a good thing. I think some of the rare things here are a good thing as well. But I'd be looking to something where I don't want to buy something once and feel like the value is depreciated. And that's something when it comes to key investment. You have to go, okay, so if I buy a mastery point, it never depreciates in value. If I get myself a 7-star Incursions Artifact Crystal, there's no point because I can get that from doing incursions. Saga incursions kind of puts you that way once a month or once every 2 months. The Loyalty Crystal, what's the point? Because you can get one. There's things like, well, tier 4 basic alloy. Don't get that too often. A lot of the other stuff are in the Super Daily. And yeah, there are some things that are interesting in here. The revives, the health potions. Why? Because for non-spending players, and as well for those that spend, your access to these things, you have to spend a lot of units for. And there's units as well. There's lots of units. Is that per week or per month? Is per month. So you can grab yourself 750 units for the princely sum of 16,976. Although we're very rare, this is a very rare resource. I would personally recommend people starting off with the mastery point, mainly because it's permanent. It will never lose its value. I'm sure people will say, well, I don't want to go for that. Well, what's that going to benefit me? It might not feel that that would be a benefit, but if you're kind of like, well, I'd love to spec a champion where I could put all of the available mastery points, but then have a couple into something like Mystic Dispersion, or, you know, rejiggle about some masteries so that you're able to regen a little bit more, or do a bit more damage, or have Assassin an extra 2 into it that you would never have before, but that could be beneficial, or just shift it around. I know people will rework their masteries quite a bit, but at least if you kind of look at your mastery setup and go, hang on, well, if I put that into there, that could lead to that. You know, having an extra for me to put like 1 or 2 points in recoil because I want to do that for whatever reason. Or I'm doing some endgame content that requires 0 defense, a little bit of proficiency, you know, some kind of like key areas where I want to do something or change something about. You'll have that option with the Radiant store to kind of make those key decisions on that. But that's, yeah, just like the more I look at this, I'm like, well, it's better to get. I've got all Deathless pieces. I've got all the Deathless champions. I worked hard on that last year. Probably should have done a bit better this year with Phoenix, but I've had other stuff on. I needed my kind of care and attention. But yeah, there's a lot there on offer. There's a lot of stuff I think that will be beneficial to players. But it's the saving, it's the time investment, is what you get back from it, and it's the value that you put on certain things. Right here, the tier 7 basic currently is Meta Chase. And that's really it. I don't think there's anything that you could kind of like say is a chase meta item. Maybe tier 4 alpha, but that's been given out a lot more nowadays than it ever has been. So that's, you know, is what it is. But anyway, that's going to be it for the video. That's my recommendation for the Radiant store. That's been the current update with what's happening with the seeding. Love to see if it was kind of like something that you, the player base, is interested in, kind of having that little jump up and, you know, regular starting, and better ways to find a split between higher accounts and lower accounts. As I go back into Battlegrounds this season, I will probably, well, I don't know, actually, we'll have to see. I must remember not to suck, and should be fine. I can't really say that because it's like if I field certain champions, it might be like, well, these are too powerful, quite obviously. But anyway, works to be done, funds to be had. Thank you very much for watching this video as always. Thanks for the support in April, and I'll see you in May, which is actually tomorrow. Thanks and goodbye.